Hello Seekers, welcome to Punneits Astrology, your one-stop astro channel. Now Mars, which is in the sign of Leo, is in Magha Nakshatra. The Magha Nakshatra is basically a kind of nakshatra which is a representation of lion, rulership, kingdom, the king's throne, a nakshatra of Ketu. Mars is with Ketu in Leo. I have made a detailed discussion on Mars transit in the sign of Leo. You can watch that after you watch this video. But now on 30th of June, Mars is going to make its move in Purva Phalguni Nakshatra. What is Purva Phalguni? Purva Phalguni is a nakshatra which is ruled by Shukra, Venus. It's a nakshatra which is greatly associated with romance, love, physical satisfaction, material satisfaction, finances, money, luxury, basically celebration. It's like once the king is coronated in Magha Nakshatra, Purva Phalguni says that the celebration has started and it is called Rajotsav. That means king's celebration or kingly celebration. Now Mars, which is a kind of a desire, Mars is passion, willpower, directional strength, sheer brute force. When it enters into this creative nakshatra of Purva Phalguni, it kind of fuses the Venus and Mars energies together. But we should not forget that Ketu is present in Purva Phalguni nakshatra. Ketu's energy is extremely, I will say, detaching in nature. And Purva Phalguni is not at all a right nakshatra to host a planet like Ketu. Purva Phalguni represents attachment. Purva Phalguni represents comfort, enjoyment. Ketu in Purva Phalguni represents complete detachment from the material world. Ketu in Purva Phalguni represents complete surrender to the divine, and your focus shifts away from the Phalguni to the Bhadrapada, because Rahu is in Purva Bhadrapada. It becomes highly occult in nature. You start rejecting the obvious, the usual, and you may not value what you have, but you will search for something that you think is good. You know, grass is greener on the other side. That is the theme when Ketu is in Purva Phalguni. When Mars enters the Purva Phalguni nakshatra, imagine what happens in this nakshatra. Two fiery energies, two very strong energies enters into Purva Phalguni. Where is Venus? If you observe, if I see the soft through the planetary movement, Venus will be in the sign of Taurus. Now that is good thing, because when Venus is in good sign, it strengthens the Phalguni nakshatra. It strengthens all Venusian nakshatra, and for the entire transit of Mars in Purva Phalguni, I will say that Venus is beautifully placed in Taurus in its own zodiac sign, and you can say that the transit of Venus supports the nakshatra and tries to drain away the Mars and Ketu energy. That means all the war between Mars and Ketu is to fight for something which you are craving for. It's a fight for desire. It's a war of greed. But Venus can provide that internal security. That means this war can be avoided, provided you listen to what you already have and you become happy and satisfied. But that's a challenge. If you observe, Venus is in Taurus, and fourth from Venus will be Mars and Ketu in Purva Phalguni nakshatra. Fourth house from a planet represents comfort zone of that planet. And when Venus hosts Mars and Ketu in the fourth house, all the comfort vanishes. That means a lot of people will focus on gaining material objects, buying material objects for their satisfaction. That's the normal mundane analysis. Having a Kundali in your pocket, in your phone, in your tablet will come handy, because whenever there is a transit and you are watching such videos, you can directly go to your horoscope and check how it is related to your own horoscope. How is the Dasha Mahadasha right now running in your life? And for that you can book a Kundali PDF report, which is an elaborate report, a system generated 300 plus pages report, which caters to your need of all the astrology data. It feeds you with not only your basic charts but also detailed Shodash work chart, divisional charts, all the types of Dasha, Mahadasha, Antardashas, and also an overview of 10 years of your life with current year predictions. This gives you a great guidance and a bird's eye view of your life in the future, how the future holds for you, and you can decide for yourself whether you want to take that step that you are thinking of. So book your Kundali PDF today and keep the destiny in your own hands. You will get a bonus numerology section if you book our detailed Kundali PDF. For more types of PDF reports catering to different yogas, catering to all the 20-year analysis, 10-year analysis, check out the website. A lot of relationship will go in a test. A lot of relationships will break during this time because all the comfort zone will vanish. And this is also the test of time that yes, if you can stand the thick and thin of the time, this proves whether you are in the right relationship or you are in a toxic relationship. The day when Mars enters Purva Phalguni Nakshatra, Moon is also in the same Nakshatra. That means it is heavily going to impact people who have Purva Phalguni or Uttara Phalguni Nakshatra birth or any planet in this Nakshatra, or you are running a Venus Mahadasha or Antardasha, or you are a Taurus, Leo or Libra moon sign native. Because Venus is getting impacted, the greed, the lust, the sensuality, it holds no boundary. Because Ketu is too extreme, either on the left or on the right. So what it can do is it can create a huge elemental clash. Because Mars is fire and Venus is water. This transit is bound to create dominance, desire, point of view differences in a lot of people, especially if you have Rahu Mars, Ketu Mars or Saturn Mars conjunction in your D1 chart or in your D9 chart. Especially if you have Saturn Mars, Ketu Mars and Rahu Mars conjunction in your D9 chart, then that means that energy will be more subtle and it will impact your relationship. You need to be very, very careful. But on the other hand, Purva Phalguni is a nakshatra which will support art, craft, music. It supports luxury. Now, energy of Mars will create a very different kind of ambition because Ketu is detachment, Mars is desire, Purva Phalguni is fulfillment of desire. So it's a very contradicting energy. So what will Ketu Mars do? Imagine somebody who is a musician and he is a Western musician, like say he loves to play piano. I will give it, let's take an example. He loves to play guitar. Suddenly when Mars and Ketu comes, he rejects the guitar. He says, I want something new in my life. You know how creativity works. They always keep on exploring. And suddenly he picks up sitar. Sitar astonishes that musician, and that musician, in spite of being in the creative line, is in a very different path. There's a moksha and then rebirth. This is going to impact a lot of creative people because they will, sometimes when you write, you crush the paper and you throw because you don't trust the writing, you think you can do it better. And this keeps on happening. So this will happen with a lot of creative people. There is on one side, it creates a combination of passion and creativity. On the other side, it can also create impulsive nature. In certain cases where Moon is affected with Ketu, this can create severe detachment with the material world. The opposite. Your desire will be to throw away the material. You will start becoming minimalistic. You will start donating. You will start becoming hyper spiritual. Suddenly things will move in the spiritual path. Your roadblocks will move and you will feel that God is giving his helping hand, and which is true. I am on Patreon, and Patreon is a platform where I will upload interesting videos where you can learn astrology. Connect with me on Patreon and we will grow, and I will give you much more deep insights on Vedic astrology, and lot more secrets will be shared there. On the other hand, people who have negative moon in their birth chart, say you have moon in Scorpio, moon affliction happening, then you may feel jealousy, possessiveness, ego clashes. You may feel hyperactivity, people who have problems focusing at one point, and this can create further concentration issues. In spite of Venus being in Taurus, the stability will attract you. but you won't be able to stabilize the life. And for this, you need to surrender to the divine feminine and pray to Mata Durga without a delay. On the other hand, fame and validation, strong urge to be noticed by people, name and fame, that will be something that you will crave for, but you won't be able to achieve. If you're running after name and fame too much, you will see you won't be able to achieve that. Where it is happening? It is happening in Leo. Leo means the king's desire, but Mars and Ketu means king's unfulfilled desire. And Purva Phalguni means the desire for which king was running after, the king is passionate about, but it's not fulfilling. The good thing is that Venus is in Taurus. That means if you settle for less, if you settle with what you have, you will be happy. If this Venus was in a bad shape, it would have been a desperate war to achieve. On the other hand, in the marital life, this can create arguments, physical tension. It can make you push towards glamour, entertainment, and a lot of people will have real estate problems because they will eat or bite more than what they can chew, what they can handle. So be careful there, because you might suddenly become risky. You might ignore the consequence of your action and you may overspend. Impulsiveness will be very high because Mars and Ketu creates that impulsive reaction, knee-jerk reaction on substance. This will also create health issues, especially people who are having any reproductive issues related to muscles, core muscles, hormonal imbalances. You need to be very, very careful. On the other hand, on the property matters, you need to be cautious. If you want to, I will say, sell off a land or a property or a commercial estate, this can be a very good time. Great time to meet your karmic life partner. A lot of people might meet the love of their life, and even if you marry, this means this is karmic marriage, karmic relationship, because Mars and Ketu is a closure for the karmic relations or also new beginnings for karmic marriages and relationships. So if you want to focus on flings, I will say don't, because that can destroy you. Plus the argumentative nature of Mars, the passion of Mars, and Ketu's fiery or arrow-like energy, or the Ketu's silent push on Mars, can provoke you, and you can fight for your justice, for your rights, but in the end you might realize that you're fighting for all glory. So it's an ego-based war. So don't go there. Don't go in that territory. Try to be very passionate yet humble. Self-discipline is going to be like a must, because Mars and Ketu will create challenges that are never heard of. It can create challenges in the bestest of the relationship. You may be best buddies, but now you're fighting. So that is something that can really happen. This will also kindle your divine feminine strength that is within. This will help you reclaim your inner voice. You will be able to speak, and this can create an outburst, especially in females. So you need to be very positive, polite, and focus on your heart center, focus on the heart chakra. One remedy here will be practicing Pankaj Mudra, 2 minutes or 5 minutes every day. On the other hand, this is going to be a great time for cosmetic industry, for people who want to do plastic surgery, who want to do any cosmetic surgery, because self-care, body piercing, body tattoo, these kind of industries will flourish. Flower industry, garland industry, decorative materials, all this will flourish. Vastu is going to flourish greatly during this time. Now, with Mars and Venusian energy, your creative energy and your magnetic energy will be also very high. You should not sleep keeping your head towards the north direction, because that can disrupt your overall body sleep, body cycle, and energy flow. Now, karmas associated with maternal lineage might also resurface. Health of the mother or mother's brother, mama as we call in Hindi. Their involvement might cause a karmic shift in your life. Good or bad depends on your chart. If you are working with if you're okay with being a little vulnerable in front of people you love, then you will have a strength, because it's okay to be a little vulnerable, because then you will be able to share your thoughts. If you don't have anybody, maybe you need a counselor. But the moment you feel that the life is becoming a pressure cooker, you need an immediate release, otherwise it will surely hit some part of your body negatively and can create medical issues. This is the time to connect with Shakti, the inner Shakti or the inner cosmic power, and people who are practicing Kundalini meditation will see great transformation, because it's a combination of abundance, beauty, boldness, but it is also a combination of spirituality. With Ketu, it's like you have everything and you are still detached. It's like a meditation in a resort kind of phenomena. You need to give yourself enough rest to nourish. You need to give yourself enough, you can say, enough time to replenish, and you need to discard toxicity. This is the time to remove the toxic energies from life, resettle. It's a kind of a rebirth, because Mars is a planet that represents life and birth cycle. With Ketu, it shows a lot of people who are in sadhana, who are in Devi sadhana, will be free from the life and birth cycle. In a way, not really, because if that totally depends on the divine to tell you whether you are completely free or not, but at least in this life there are some challenges that you are facing, and this time gives you the opportunity to free yourself from that challenges once for all. But the only, I will say, the clause is that you have to surrender to the mother goddess, you have to surrender to the divine Prakriti, and if by any chance you are involved in destroying the Prakriti, nature, then you will face the wrath of the nature. One remedy will be planting trees, giving water to plants, doing some gardening, and trying to just meditate for 5 minutes every day, and you will see the magic unfold right in front of you. Now, because this is happening at the time when there is a lot of Shakti Upasana happening, the Kamakhya Devi Ambubachi Mela is happening during this time. Then on 30th of June, Navratra, Gupt Navratra is falling. Then after this, on 11th of July, the Shravan month begins. So this is more like a Shiva and a Shakti combination. So you should focus on balancing your energies, and Libra will play a very vital role. You need to see where the Libra zodiac sign is in your birth chart. That area will bring balance. For an example, if Libra is in your 11th house, I'm talking about the zodiac, forget the planet, then it means that the balance will come by becoming a team player with your friends, by having people around you. If Libra falls in the 8th house, it means the balance will come by becoming secretive. The balance will come when you interact with your own life partner. If Libra falls, say, in the 4th house, the balance will come by focusing more on the home front. So this is the tip that I give you, and hope that this transit gives you the best. Mars in Purva Phalguni is a very different kind of transit, and this is definitely going to impact people who are really passionate about something in life. May your passion grow high and God gives you the right path. We'll meet in the next video. Till then, namaste.